I totally have our time wrong. Hey everyone, welcome to Legends Podcast, where I said we were going to start at 7, and then I thought it's 6 now. So we're starting an hour early. I have completely confused everyone. That is 100% on me right now. That makes no sense that I did it that way. That's hilarious. I'm Jeremy. We haven't done one of these in a very long time. Next to on my right, we have Marcel from the Revenus, who used to upload and now just suffers through Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert's Dune books with me. Next, we have the former owner of the infamous Piss Couch, Dylan.
Hi, it's in the dumpster now. I didn't get video. Sorry.
R.I.P. Then below me, we got General Watts, the OG of EU YouTube, and fan of Aliens Colonial Marines, his favorite game of all time.
I'm not so sure about that one, but some of that's true.
And then we have Adam, Red 5 Reviews, the original Red 5 Reviews, not to be mistaken with the other YouTuber that is Red 5 Reviews.
Oh, man.
So there's now 2 of them. Also co-host of Paper Movies, a podcast that we sometimes do. We set up a season and then it doesn't happen. So here we are. Welcome to the podcast that happens every 2 years or so. We have a little bit to talk about today. We're going to try to keep this short because the last Legends podcast, General Watts and I went for almost 5 hours. I had a grand old time, but it was very terrible to edit, and it took me a year and 2 weeks to edit. I did the math. So
that's why PC is superior to Mac.
Yeah, that is true, but it's also Captivate. My hosting server could not handle the bit rate of a 5-hour podcast, and it had to be lowered and lowered and lowered, but it wouldn't tell me where it needed to be. So I just had to keep lowering it and exporting it. But anyway, Dylan, I'm going to let you start with what's been released this year and what's coming out.
A lot of stuff. So there's the Essential Legends collection wave, which I completely spaced, that we now have Honor Among Thieves, Razor's Edge, and Choices of One in the Essential Legends collection. So what would Choices of One be, like the 6th, 7th, 8th best Zon book, roughly?
Zon book?
And then the Empire and Rebellion trilogy, that's actually a duology because they canceled the timeline before they made the 3rd book and made it into canon. But still no New Jedi Order, still nothing from Kevin J. Anderson or anything, but, that's fine. And then there's also the Legends Old Republic Omnibus, Volume 2. As well as...
Oh, yeah, that did come out. I own that. I bought that, which collected the lesser Old Republic stuff. But it's worth it if you want Jedi versus Sith, because that's been out of print for a very long time. You have to suffer through reading the web comics of the Old Republic MMO, which the Alexander Freed stuff is worth your time to check out, by the way, if you really want to deep dive. He wrote a prequel to, oh gosh, what was the last Drew Karpyshyn Old Republic? Annihilation. Yeah, it's a prequel to that, which is fine. There is a Lost Tribe of the Sith comic, and of course, infamously, Knight Errant is in there. That came out. We also had the Empire Volume 4 Omnibus.
That came out in March.
Yeah, which also collects the Star Wars, everyone's favorite 8 issues long miniseries that no one asked for. And Infinity's A New Hope.
Infinity's New Hope is in that?
Yeah, and then the Rebellion Omnibus Volume 3 that came out.
Doesn't Infinity's already have its own omnibus?
No, it has an Epic Collection that went out of print.
Okay.
No, it isn't like when they took the pizzazz and all those weird Star Wars Weekly comics that they put in the third original Marvel Years Omnibus, and they said, why don't we put that in an omnibus and call it the UK Comics Omnibus, and no one bought it. They did that before they even did a KOTOR omnibus or a New Republic omnibus. They're like, let's do a Droids and Ewoks omnibus. Let's do a UK Comics exclusive that no one knows what any of this is unless you're Joe Bongiorno or Matt Wilkins. Before we actually start tackling Dark Horse stuff. But yeah, no, the Rebellion Omnibus Volume 3 has Infinity's Empire Strikes Back and Infinity's Return of the Jedi in it. We got those first before we got Infinity's A New Hope, which I find rather silly. But, you know, I'm glad we have them now. They were way out of print. And that also has, like, the beginnings of the Empire comics in there, as well as, I believe, those 2 Boba Fett miniseries, the Blood Ties ones. I think those are in there too.
These new omnibuses, by the way, if you're or anyone listening is wondering, are like they retail for 125, 156.25 Canadian.
Yeah,
you can
That's
go
a
on
weird number.
get them off of in-stock trades if you can. You'll save about $30-40 that way. It takes longer to ship to you, but it's worth it.
And then
the Legacy
also
omnibus just dropped.
as a week and a half ago,
Legacy, it's out.
Volume 1.
Yeah, that's some good stuff there.
I think that's where my paycheck is going to go.
I'm just waiting for mine to. It just shipped yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So it should be here next week. Otherwise, I would have shown it off.
And then in June, the New Republic Omnibus, which is has the website I'm using has like Dave Dorman Crimson Empire cover for it. That'll be on the 23rd of June.
Yeah, and that's all of Crimson Empire, Chewbacca, Union, Jedi Academy, Leviathan, the Invasion comics. I think that's it.
And then in July, there's the newspaper strips omnibus.
Yeah,
Al Williamson's early adventure cover. I don't know what that's going to have in it.
It's going to be all the web the comic strips from back in the day, the ones that they just,
Classic Star Wars.
Classic Star Wars.
Yeah, they had the 2 epic collections for it, but I guess this omnibus collects those 2 epic collections.
And also, when IDW had the weird rights with Lucasfilm, they did them. They called them the classic newspaper strips. I'll pull one out for you. I actually have one right over here. They're a really weird size.
What was that Pablo Hidalgo webcomic that they never put out in print?
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, I think it's called like something like Evasive Action or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was it was either a Clone Wars one. It was hyperspace fiction, I think, technically.
Right, but it was a comic book. They just never put it out in print.
Hyperspace comics. Most of them were TCW tie-ins, but they did some that were right after the Jedi Purge happened. But yeah, we got those. Essential Legends collection. We're getting Labyrinth of Evil spelled wrong.
They spelled Labyrinth wrong on the cover of Labyrinth of Evil, Classic Essential Legends.
And we're getting Cloak of Deception finally.
2 good ones that probably deserve it, I would say.
And I'm going to go on the record and say that Cloak of Deception is better than Millennium Falcon. I know that upsets certain people. It's true, though. Cloak of Deception is a very important EU book and actually deserves to be in the Essential Legends.
Yeah, I can second that. Millennium Falcon was kind of boring.
Millennium Falcon, and it has a weird tie-in to Fate of the Jedi that was forced.
Well, I mean, when it takes place, right? It has to.
I like the flashback portions of Millennium Falcon. I wish the book was just the flashback portions, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I might actually revisit Cloak of Deception. I really did like that one, so I've been wanting to review it. So I'm gonna probably tackle it after I'm done with the Han Solo trilogy.
It has Vergier in it. A lot of people forget.
Yeah,
Before
and
she
it
went
has,
off.
Jorah Sabaoth for 2 seconds, as well as next to Senator Greebleeds, the ET senator.
Both are getting audiobooks too, which is pretty exciting.
Yes. And it looks like we'll get Essential Legends Collection reprints of the prequel trilogy novelizations. I keep seeing
Really, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that.
I saw it on Reddit today.
Interesting. It must not have dropped on Edelweiss yet.
You know, not Essential Legends, but one thing that I haven't seen recently are any more Legends Inkstone books, because there was like a bit of a run going there for a while.
They're a bunch of gatekeeping a-holes.
Yeah.
They won't let me buy their stuff. It makes me very angry. They'll...
Also, if anyone cares, when I was checking Edelweiss for all this, I noticed there was a rerun of the Jedi Path and Book of the Sith hardcovers for some reason. I don't know why, but they got re-released, so those might be out in stores if you want that sort of thing. These are the Daniel Wallace like pseudo short source books that also have like the notes on the sides of them from different characters. They're kind of weird, but they're, for what they are, they're fine.
Where you have like Ahsoka writing in the covers of a ancient Jedi text.
Yeah. Especially with the state of Wikipedia is, I think they're as valuable in owning them just so that you have the actual information, but
I found the Bounty Hunter one to be kind of weird. It's like, why would they keep that? Why would like Bosk write in a Boba Fett book? It doesn't seem like.
I've never read them.
They're source books. They're not a book to be read. They're a book to be when you go. What was the official title of it? Thing of a Jedi Guardian again? Okay, that. Yeah, you open up to the page you need to read.
There was some interesting stuff in that Sith one, like some interesting stuff that was kind of like almost cut content.
Yeah. Oh, the Jedi have one has the thing where like the prophecy of the chosen one, but it's all like redacted. There's like 3 whole pages of it.
Yeah, we got that. Then we had that weird. We're getting another reprint of the original Marvel years stuff.
By Taschen. It's $200. Star Wars Comics Volume 1, 1977 to 79. So it's supposed to be a hardcover. Apparently Taschen makes high quality hardcovers. I haven't heard of them before this. I just, again, saw it and then was like, what's this? Why are we getting another reprint of the original Marvel years? But
we're also getting, for you Indiana Jones fans, and I haven't forgotten you, fine editions. We are getting Further Adventures of Indiana Jones omnibuses. It's 2 volumes that are going to be in a slipcase. I don't know if they'll be sold together or not. We'll see on that. I'm looking forward to it, and you can rest assured that in September we'll be jumping into some Indiana Jones again on the Stupid Changelog channel.
I'm excited for it. I'm gonna buy it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna go quick. That's the one I'm calling now is like going to sell out. And then we have did we talk about Menace Revealed?
Nope, that's coming out in December.
It comes out in December. Big deal. We're finally going back to prequel stuff because they've been avoiding it. Because I can only assume Rise of the Sith didn't sell well, so that's why it's it got really like they just stopped doing prequel stuff for a while until they felt like they didn't have anything else, which is unfortunate.
So is that basically going to be like Republic?
Yeah, it's going to be Republic. Yeah. Jango Fett Open Seasons will be in that. And I think the volume 2 will have the Attack of the Clones comic adaptation.
I see Pico saying in the chat that Inkstone's getting the Thrawn trilogy, and actually he did tell me about that. I think like a week or two ago, and I forgot about it. But
That's exactly what we needed. Another reprint of the Thrawn trilogy. People are really
signed by Tim Zahn.
People are really clamoring for more Thrawn trilogy.
Well, they're clamoring for anything at this point.
I would at least like it in an omnibus form, kind of like what I've been collecting with the other stuff. I mean,
they did that, but it was with the comic adaptations.
Yeah, I knew that part. I was about to buy it, but then I saw it as the comics. Like, well, I was still planning to buy it, but I just didn't for some reason.
I used to have it, but it burned to fire. I had that, the Dark Empire one, and the Crimson Empire one, and I think I had all the Legacy ones that they did in that weird A5 book club size.
Mm-hmm. The gray covers.
Yeah,
I have those.
But anyway, do we want to talk the Lucas news, Dylan?
Yeah, so earlier today, as of time of recording this, the news came out that Marcia Lucas, George's first wife and editor of the original Star Wars, passed away. She was 80 years old.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Anyway.
Well, wait, there's still some more we could say about her. I don't know to what extent.
I was waiting. I was waiting for someone.
I don't know to what extent her involvement was. I think there was like a documentary that said she was like pretty involved in the making of the original trilogy and some of the creative decisions, and a lot of people like attribute its success to her touch.
Yeah, she was really involved in the editing. Like I think the story is like they had an editor, but he was bad, so they fired him, and then like she kind of took over editing and turned it in the editing process to like what the movie became.
Yeah, she fixed the pacing. Also cut out the scene of Harrison Ford making out with a random woman in the cantina. That's taken out. But there's also like she really fixed the pacing. I don't think she was involved in Return of the Jedi because they were divorced at that point or getting divorced. And that's why George Lucas made Temple of Doom so dark, because when I think of divorce, I think of enslaving younglings. You have to get around the censors here on YouTube. But no, she was very key to making that first film work. I don't know how much more involved she was after that. I don't know how involved she was in Empire. I actually don't know who edited Empire Strikes Back.
But at least for the first film, we know that she had editing influence. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. No, she pretty much did it uncredited, I think. I think she's uncredited for doing it. But yeah, no, they realized when they were near the end of production that it was unwatchable. It was the most boring thing ever.
From what I'm reading, Paul Hirsch edited Empire Strikes Back.
Fine Editions put that we needed a Martha Lucas prequel edition. That would have been interesting.
She was also on all of Lucas's THX 1138, American Graffiti.
Well, the theatrical cut of THX, because he re-edited it in the 2000s, and it is really bad. It has.
She was also
never seen that film.
She's also credited as working on Taxi Driver.
Oh,
like the De Niro movie, Taxi Driver.
Scorsese film.
Yeah, the Scorsese Taxi Driver in '76.
So weird.
And she does have a credit for Return of the Jedi.
Speaking of signed by Timothy Zahn, can I say a funny story that happened at GalaxyCon with the Geeks Attic?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
Well, he brought like a whole bag. It was like a Mary Poppins style bag, but with the Star Wars books, and he had just like dozens of them to have the author sign them, because they said that they were nice enough to say, like, if you bring like your books from home, we'll sign them for free. So he has him sign the Thrawn trilogy, and then he hands him Survivor's Quest, and then he's just like, okay, and he was about to sign. It's like, this one's already signed by me, and he goes like, wait, what? Like, but it was. He's like, yeah, I signed this one back in the 90s, something I can't remember, but he's like, but it was addressed to Helen. Because He's like, but I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and date and sign it again. I'm like, and apparently he had 2 different signatures at one point. Someone's like, dude, you got like 2 different Thrawn or Timothy Zahn signatures. So maybe that's double the value. I don't know.
It could cause
Maybe.
a continuity thing. You might have to get it accredited.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was replaced with a body double after Outbound Flight came out, and that it would explain everything he's written ever since.
Adam.
Replaced by a lizard man.
Yeah.
Well, who else would write Scoundrels? I can't believe he wrote that. I still can't.
It's
believe
such a
Yeah.
Scoundrels is like a tragedy because it's like how do you mess up Solo's 11?
Yeah. Well, you put Lando in, and it doesn't make sense. It should have been no Han, no Chewie, just Lando and a bunch of new people, because we know Zahn can write Lando. But yeah. Anyway, 5 picoseconds. Of course, it has bad covers. Disney only makes books with bad covers now.
Mhm.
And that's not just Star Wars. You should see their Alien covers. They're shockingly terrible and really, really blatantly AI. Also, Iron Inquisitor, hello. Good to see you. Anyway, shall we talk about the crisis we're in? So, at least 3 of us listen to a lot of audiobooks. John kind of makes his own AI kind of thing at times when he needs it. Dylan, I don't know if you do a lot of audiobook listening anymore. You used to.
I used to, but the books I'm reading now don't have unabridged audiobooks, so I have to read the old-fashioned way.
But anyway, Marcel, Adam, and I, with the podcasts we have to get through books fairly quickly. So we do a lot of we read, of course, but we also listen to a lot of stuff. And a lot of things don't have official audiobooks. So a lot of people on YouTube make their own audiobooks. Well, YouTube decided this year that was not acceptable because YouTube is the worst website. And decides to make everyone's lives more difficult. And suddenly I wake up one day and I'm like, I want to listen to some YJK audiobooks. One of the OGs of Star Wars AI audiobooks, as well as they did all of the Bantam Indiana Jones stuff. I go on, they're not there anymore. Not only is their YouTube not there, but their Patreon is completely nuked. And I'm like, oh my God, well, that's really weird. And then I go, well, who else does Star Wars stuff? I'm like, oh, Patrick Predator does some Star Wars stuff. He also does a lot of Alien Predator and some German Indiana Jones books. His stuff's gone too. His channel's still up. I send him a message. He responds with, yeah, they demonetized us and forced us to remove all the audiobooks, all my Let's Plays, and all some of my prop collection videos, because YouTube decided that their policy is that you have to have a certain amount of original material if you're re-uploading someone else's work. And it's very annoying, especially with all the AI slop that's on YouTube that they don't seem to care about. That they would target that. So Patrick Predator's stuff is on Rumble, and he does have some stuff on Patreon. It's not all of his material, but most of it went to Rumble. Like about half so far has been re-uploaded on there. YJK audiobooks stuff keeps showing up on other people's channels. There was a Rumble channel called Star Wars Audiobooks that got nuked last week, which was pretty unfortunate because that had a lot of the YJK Star Wars stuff. But Hidden Gems, I think, is re-uploading Star Wars audio, like the YJK stuff. But Hidden Gems is still up, as well as Decade Bird. Those are the big 2. There's a few other like smaller ones I found. There's also, you got, for those of you who aren't into Star Wars so much but are into the novelizations, I believe Teach's channel still up, which is he's he does he reads them out loud himself.
Yeah.
And I think 80s Slasher Librarian's still up for those of you who listen to like the 80s horror stuff. I hadn't seen. I think he would have reached out to either Adam or me if something had happened. 'Cause we've relied
Did you ever figure out why YJK Audiobooks Patreon was down too? Because like taking down your videos is one thing, but
no, it's one of those great mysteries of the world. There's a whole Reddit thread of people trying to figure that out.
how will I ever read all the Hardy Boys books now? They had all the audios for Hardy Boys.
80s Slasher is still up. He's currently live streaming at the same time we are right now.
Oh, well, shout out to him. He's a great guy.
Mhm.
We've tried to record with him before, but it just didn't work out. But he's a real good guy. So's Teach. There's a couple new ones. I actually sent you a link to this lady that does stuff. I can't remember her YouTube name off the top of my head.
Yeah, I just listened to her. I'm currently listening to her channel right now. She has the Han Solo trilogy, among other expanded universe books.
Yeah. I just started her Truce of Bakura.
Is she reading them? Just like reading them out loud? Yeah.
Yeah. I believe she is a YouTuber that had a channel when she was a kid, like in late middle school, early high school. I remember her from many years ago, and she was reading the Jedi Apprentice books, and she only read the first 4, then deleted the channel.
The channel's name is The Expanded Universe Lives Forever.
Oh, that's nice.
Highly recommend her channel. It's very, very good stuff.
I will say though, what I like that she does that some of the AI, channels don't do is that they don't separate by chapters. They just keep reading. Like Hidden Gems did that.
Oh yeah, Hidden Gems will stop mid-sentence, mid-word, and it's really their audiobook of Hard Merchandise is unlistenable.
And that's because the AI that they use.
AI. And Hidden Gems is nice because they have a large quantity of Star Wars stuff. It's not all quality though. Yeah,
they have Light Cider on their channel as well.
Yeah, they have Light Cider. Cool. I believe they were the ones that remastered the Lost Death Star audiobook that Lucasfilm did. I believe that was them, which that was good. They also remastered Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales from Jabba's Palace, and almost all of Tales of the Bounty Hunters, although the Zuckuss Forlom story I don't think ever got put on tape. So they did their own, and that's kind of hard to listen to, which is unfortunate because that story is pretty good.
Yeah, see on their channel they also have Spaceballs, the audiobook.
There was one Star Wars audiobook that one Star Wars book that I was never able to find in audiobook format. So much so that I almost started reading it on my channel just as a joke. And it's Ruins of Dantooine.
Oh yeah.
I've ever found an audiobook format of that book.
Let me see if
it'd be Hidden Gems, I swear, if anyone's done it.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna look on The Expanded Universe Lives Forever.
I don't think she has. She mainly stays with Bantam.
Oh, okay.
And she's doing Jedi Apprentice now.
I'll be honest, I don't remember what Ruins of Dantooine was even about.
It's
been
a
so long.
Tie-in book, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
I was gonna do as a April Fool's joke. I was gonna do the first chapter on my channel, and then I saw the first chapter was like 25 pages, and I said, "There's no way I'm reading a 25-page chapter."
You should.
The cover
one day.
Yeah.
It covers a screenshot from the game.
Oh, and it's a really bad screenshot.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh man, Hayden.
Oh my gosh, I found it, Marcel.
Did you?
Yeah. Here, I'll pull it up.
Oh God.
It lives again.
Who did it? Who?
It's the channel's called I'm Seville. IMCVILLE.
Oh, okay.
It's a 6-hour-long audiobook, and
it sounds about right.
Not all heroes wear capes.
My favorite lore about Ruins of Dantooine is that publication-wise, it is the very next book after the Unifying Force was released.
Yep. Wow.
A worthy follow-up.
There you go. Now you can listen to it.
So
I don't know what to do with this knowledge, Adam.
Man, anyway, do we want to talk about what we're reading right now? Because I know what two of you are reading, and I know one of you finished something, but I want to start with Marcel. What are you reading right now?
I have been struggling through my reread of Dark Tower Book 4, Wizard and Glass, which I blew through the first time, but just for some reason, I'm just really, really struggling with it this time.
You have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
It is, and it's depressing.
It's been like a month now. I think the longest time it's ever taken me to read a book as an adult.
Are you still in the flashback?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like middle of the flashback, and it's a long book, but I read The Wastelands. My reread of The Wastelands was like 2 days, and I was done it, and it was just like it was amazing. So maybe I'm just fatigued.
Have you gotten to the awkward sex scene?
Yeah, just got there.
Okay. Yeah. It's supposed to be romantic, but Stephen King can't write romance to save his life.
And can't write sex scenes. It just like makes my skin crawl sometimes when I read some of these descriptions. I was going to read Star Wars related. I had a plan to read Vector Prime because I was listening to YJK audiobooks, and I finally finished with all the YJK audiobooks and JJK audiobooks that they had on that channel in December. And so I was going to start off the year reading Vector Prime, but I haven't touched it yet.
Speaking of depressing books.
Yeah.
Dylan, I have no clue what you're on right now.
So I just finished the Han Solo Brian Daly trilogy. I had read the first one and Star's End, and then I just this week finished. I just powered through Revenge and Lost Legacy because I'd been reading this for almost a year now, and I needed to get through it.
What did you think overall?
I don't get the hype, quite frankly. I think they're very dated. I think they're great. I think I had the same problem with the Lando books. Is that they were written at a time when there's just so like little out there that they kind of like had to create things. But then unfortunately, no one really brought what they created into other things. So like everything is like unique, new and unique to these specific stories. So it's like when you read later books where things were like actually piggybacking off each other and like things were showing up and like things were, you sell like multiple books, long cause and effect relationships between characters and others. And then you go to this kind of like one-off, they're in this like random part of the galaxy where like the Empire isn't actually, it's all the corporate sector authority that they're dealing with. And like outside of Bollocks and Blumach, none of the characters really show up ever again. It's just kind of weird and out there. And also it has like the, my thing with reading Star Wars is I'm very like, it doesn't take much for me to like take out of a story, and like the antiquated use of like real world words that would later have Star Wars words added to them just like kind of takes me out of it. So it was a kind of a hard read for me, and that's why it took so long.
Do you prefer this over the L. Neil Smith Lando books? Because I know you had a hard time with those too.
I think out of all of them, Han Solo's Revenge was the best one out of everything. And yeah, I think I would still prefer this over the Lando books, just because Lando doesn't really have too many people to like bounce off of. Like all of his adventures, it's like him and like him, the droid, and like maybe one or two other people, basically. Whereas in this, it's like Chewie's there, Bollocks and Blumach is there, and there's usually like 2 or 3 other randos who like join for the book and then disappear in the next book, except for Galandro, who is always around as like a somewhat antagonist. Yeah.
Now, are you going to go into the Hungarian Han Solo?
No.
Okay.
No.
There you have it.
So the reason I was trying to speed through that was because I wanted to read the Revenge of the Sith deluxe edition that has all of Stover's notes in it. I have this thing. I can't read multiple books at the same time. If I start something, I have to finish it. I can't put it on pause because then I'll like my brain works in like my memory works in like I'll remember like certain time periods. So if I read 2 or 3 books at the same time, I'll like get them confused with each other because I think like, oh, I read this book back in here, and then I go back and like I remember everything that I remember from that time. But then if it's like 2 or 3 books at the same time, they'll just mix together. So now I'm on this. I'm about halfway through the first chapter. It's great. It's a little weird reading because like you read the annotations. You're reading the whole thing, and then you see at the bottom there's like annotations. So like, you know, you read the page and then you go and read the annotations and you kind of read it again. I've read and listened to the audiobook of Revenge of the Sith, and I've seen the movie multiple times, so it's not as bad. But if you've never read Revenge of the Sith before, I would highly recommend you don't have this be your first time you read Revenge of the Sith. Read it normally first, and then read the annotations. But it's great. I love it so far.
Sorry, everyone. My wife has made a cameo.
Hi, Gabby.
Everyone's saying hi to you, hon. She says hello to everyone. Yeah, no. Did you ever read the Heir to the Empire annotations?
No, I don't have that hardcover.
She wants to say hi. My wife, everyone. I read the Heir to the Empire one back in the day. I actually have it because thanks to Dylan, talking to who was that at Del Rey after.
That was our contact who is I don't want to name him, but our contact is the guy who runs their social media account. At least he used to. I don't know if he still does.
But yeah, he sent me a care package of stuff. And that was one of them.
One complaint I have. This is true of all the novelizations, but they have the wrong timeline in it. It's the canon timeline. It's not the Legends timeline. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the canon timeline.
But there's like Legends references in the book.
Yes, I know. It makes it terrible because like it's like at Twinsen's donations we're like, well, we'd really like to give out the novelizations, but they have the wrong timeline in them, so they're going to look in the timeline and they're going to look at the wrong books.
All right. I'm going to skip you, John, for right now because we read the same thing and I want to just go back and forth on that a little bit. Adam, what are you on? I mean, I know what you're on, but
well, I'm currently rereading the Han Solo trilogy. I just reviewed The Paradise Snare. It's on my channel now.
AC Crispin one for those. Of you.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Brian Daly, what Dylan was.
Yeah.
Currently now reading the Hutt Gambit book 2 in the AC Crispin trilogy, and once I'm finished with that, I am kind of tempted to. Someone suggested it to me to read the Brian Daly books and then read Rebel Dawn because, like, I guess there's a they kind of intertwine, and so I might do that.
I mean, I'd go one step further and read the L. Neil Smith Lando stuff too, because you've already done that.
Yeah, that and oh no, it's in between. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's in between book 2 and book 3 of the. If you're reading chronologically between book 2 and 3, the AC Crispin one, it's like a year gap, I want to say, between the two.
Okay. I do actually want to get that Revenge of the Sith book, but because Matthew Stover is going to be at a Star Wars con in Dallas in August, and I was like, I can take some of the books that I have and get him sign those and everything. But as far as like after that, the Han Solo stuff, I want to finish reviewing the Old Republic, so I'm going to do rereads of Deceived, Knight Errant, Annihilation, and I've already reviewed Revan, so and Red Harvest.
Alliance.
Do what?
Have you done Fatal Alliance yet?
I don't think I've read it. I haven't reviewed it though, so
I would skip it.
Wait, which is the good one again? Annihilation's the good one. Fatal Alliance is the bad one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Deceived is. Annihilation will always be near and dear to my heart because it feels like a Bantam book with a little bit of a Del Rey twist on it. But I think Deceived is the best of those MMO tie-in novels. Like, it's the best written.
The first 3 chapters of it are basically the Deceived trailer. If you've seen that,
Yeah.
which is great. That's not a complaint. That's a compliment.
I was actually talking to Eddie, and he's actually wanting to. He told me he's thinking about playing KOTOR, which I'm about to do too, and then read Revan. So
You should play KOTOR's 1 and 2 if you're going to do it that way. Technically, this is because Revan has a time skip. I don't know what the exact chapters are, but like if you wanted to do it in like the true order, you would play KOTOR 1, and then you'd read Revan up to a certain chapter, and then you'd play KOTOR 2, and then you'd read the rest of Revan.
that's what he said he was going to do. Yeah, he said he was going to read like the first few chapters, then go to KOTOR 2, and then finish.
How are you enjoying Anne Crispin being like a master of continuity? I think only second to Lucino himself. But she's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I was just kind of surprised, like, what I said in my review is like she does really great with characterization. Like as like I was reading it, you can see Han Solo like start to kind of turn into the character that we know when we first see him in the movies. I mean, there's still like 2 more books for him to make that full transition, but I enjoy it. Like, I think she did really well. And it's still like surprising. Like, she mostly wrote for like other fantasy novels, and I think she wrote more Star Trek novels than she did Star Wars stuff. But she knocked it out of the park.
She also wrote the novelization for Alien Resurrection of all things.
Yep, I did see that.
Because Alan Dean Foster said he would never write another Alien novel after Alien 3, which was not true. But he was so upset with Fox and the amount of rewrites that happened to Alien 3, he refused to do Resurrection, which is why she was brought on. I listened to the first chapter of that because there's a preview in the Alien 3 audiobook, and it's pretty good.
It was hard to track down a physical copy of that. It wasn't super expensive, but it was just hard to find one. And the copy that I have is pretty beat up, but it's Anne Crispin. So yeah.
They reprinted it in the US. Titan Books has reprinted it.
Recently?
Yeah. It's still in print here in America. All the Alien
like an old copy.
Are you probably got a Del Rey.
Yeah.
Either a Del Rey or a Bantam.
It is worth reading. I mean, I know people hate Alien Resurrection. I like it, unlike some others. But
did I say Alien Resurrection or did I say Colonial Marines?
Colonial Marines.
Oh, I meant Resurrection. Oh God, I ruined this podcast.
No, Alien Resurrection, the book, has some passages from the actual Xenomorph's perspective, because it's it further shows that like the Xenomorphs have a little bit of human in them. It's interesting. It's interesting for what it is.
All right, John. Go on.
From what I remember, the one Xenomorph that gets killed so they can use the acid blood doesn't want to be killed. It's kind of it makes that scene look a little different.
Huh. Well, John, shall we talk some Shadows of the Empire?
Oh yes.
I
was thinking about that.
We both did. John just did on his channel. Go check it out. He did a retrospective of Shadows of the Empire, and I was going through the infamous Marvel comics that happened between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Specifically, Joe Duffy's stuff, which she does not hit her stride until after Return of the Jedi. And how those do not match up with Shadows of the Empire. So I'm like, well, I should reacquaint myself with Shadows of the Empire because I plan on reviewing Shadows of the Empire Evolutions next month.
Yeah.
And yuck. That's a terrible comic. But Shadows of the Empire is excellent. It's better than I remembered it being.
Yeah, it's really good, But looking at it from a critical perspective, half of it's really good. The other half is kind of, I'm not going to say meh, but on the higher end of meh.
Well,
It's
it's
like,
Bantam.
that's true. But like the villains, great. You've got there's basically two plots in the book. You've got the hero plot and the villain plot. You got Darth Vader. You've got Prince Caesar, or how the fuck you want to pronounce his name. And then you've got the heroes, and the heroes are just so undirected. They kind of go from thing to thing. They're never really like ahead of anything. They're never really planning anything. Whereas the villains are just constantly going at each other. Basically, Prince Caesar wants to take out Darth Vader to somehow become like the second in command of the Empire. Now, there's a implication. The book doesn't really come out and say it, that like Emperor Palpatine's behind the whole thing. One, to kind of challenge Vader, one, to get rid of Prince Caesar. It's pretty cool if you kind of read the subtext. Whereas the heroes, they're just there. They're just constantly reacting to everything. It got kind of annoying after a while because like Princess Leia gets kidnapped because of course she's going to get kidnapped. And it's like, that's true. I mean, if you got a princess, you got to have her get kidnapped at least once. And it's kind of dumb how she gets kidnapped. The thing is, like, they could see. I don't know if that's Steve Perry's fault or if that's Lucas's fault. I don't really know, but I can definitely tell that Steve Perry really liked write the villain stuff. There's a lot of good Darth Vader moments. He actually smiles behind his mask, which is supposed to be really painful. This is definitely not a hating Christian Darth Vader, like, at all. This is like a legitimate, like, politician. I mean, the most evil of all villains, right?
Yeah, and I like the detail that Steve Perry weaves in. Vader's rich, because of course he would be. He'd be like one of the richest people in the galaxy.
He owns castles like all over the galaxy.
Which I totally forgot he had a castle on in Imperial Center, which I love that it's called Imperial Center. I don't like the Coruscant as a name. I like Imperial Center or Imperial City. I've just always, that's when I was really little, that's what we called it. Like, my parents read the Banta books. I know that Zahn calls it Coruscant, but he was like the only one really to call it that.
The thing about Shadows of the Empire is that I think it was the first EU book that I ever read, and there are some scenes in that are not appropriate for kids at all. You have like Shizor with his pheromones, and it's just like weird stuff going on. Guri, it's just, I don't know.
He was like trying to seduce Leia.
His obsession with baths. I had totally forgotten about the baths.
Yeah. And like Steve Perry like describes his like rippling muscles and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. This is not suitable for children. This book.
It's better than his Aliens books.
Oh, for sure.
Better than Nightmare Asylum.
Which he wrote some of those with his daughter too, which is even weirder. Steve Perry.
Yes. I read those Aliens books when I was like maybe 13, 14 years old. So yeah, maybe not exactly appropriate for that age, but yeah.
But I think what I was going to say, what elevates Shadows of the Empire is everything surrounding it, right? Like everything but a movie, right? You have the action figures, which I have a lot of nostalgia about. You have the video game, you have the score, you have like pretty much like all this stuff, the comic, right? The novel. It's just, I think it like makes it bigger than it probably is.
I wish it had gotten an animated film back in the day, not now so much. Because we didn't talk about it, but yeah, Filoni is the head of Lucasfilm. It's our worst fears are realized. We got the Mandalorian Grogu movie that no one asked for.
I legitimately did not know there was a Star Wars movie in theaters until Monday.
John saw it.
I'm going to tell you, it is 100% watchable. It's not a movie at all. It's not a movie. Just get that out of your mind. It's not a movie. It is 5 episodes of a TV show cut together into a movie, but it's all right. It's better than Rise of Skywalker. It's better than Last Jedi. It's better than Force Awakens. It is 100% inoffensive.
Is it better than the Clone Wars movie?
I haven't seen the Clone Wars movie, but I would assume it is.
You were talking about rewatching it because Stinky the Hutt's in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yeah, he got ripped in between. I guess I've never seen the movie. I've never seen it at all. I actually am kind of inspired to watch it because of that stupid HUD. He's like the best character in Mandalorian and Grogu. He's the only real character, I would say. They don't give Mando much to work with. And Grogu can't talk, so.
I think me and my wife are going to go see it tomorrow, and I had to explain to her who Durga the Hutt was.
It's not a waste of time, except when, believe me, though, there's a scene in it towards the end where Mando gets hurt, and it goes on and on and on, because it's supposed to be an episode of a TV show and spread over like 30 minutes. That wouldn't be so bad, but in a movie, it doesn't work.
Well, going back to what you said about wanting to have like Shadows of the Empire, like as a movie or animated movie, I 100%, agree with that, because I remember when I read it, like it went into like some unique detail about how Luke was building his replacement lightsaber after he lost Anakin's, and I would have liked to see that on screen, because like I remember like he had like the crystal and like fire or something like that. He was burning it or something like that, from what I remember.
Yeah, he synthesizes the crystal and it explains why kyber crystals aren't really around, although they don't call them kyber crystals. Even though that was a thing in Splinter of the Mind's Eye. In Bantam, I don't remember them calling them kyber.
They were a Dagon, usually. A Dagon, or in the Bantam era, there were Dagon crystals. In the prequel era, there were Ilum crystals, because that's where they got them from.
Yeah. The Dagon was from the Tales of Jedi comics.
I do like, though, how in the cover, like, his lightsaber is yellow for some reason. I'm not sure if it was just a printing error or not, but
it's the whole like color palette, because everyone looks yellow in that.
Fair.
Now the new cover looks terrible. Why is Boba Fett on the cover of the Essential Legends thing?
Because he cameos. He's there for 5 minutes. Of course, you got to put him on the cover. Actually, he's not even there for 5 minutes. He just flies away.
Yeah,
he's a boss battle in the game, though, right?
Boss battle in the game, and he's in the comic prevalently, because he basically does more bounty hunter shenanigans, like in the Bounty Hunter Wars, to everyone, makes everyone look bad again, which is really funny now that I've read the Bounty Hunter Wars, which I can talk about. I finished KW Jetter's The Bounty Hunter Wars. It should have been one book, and it would have been okay. It would have been an okay Bantam. Oh no. There we go. Okay.
It was actually, you mentioned the comic. I actually found the omnibus recently.
Yeah, you'll find it interesting. The comic has a character that's not in the novel called Jinx, who is supposed to be Vader's like top secret agent. He has one other one-shot comic from back in the 90s. They wanted him to be the next Boba Fett so bad, and no one cared. He is one of many attempts to make a new Boba Fett, along with like Aura Singh. Aura Singh was supposed to be the next Boba Fett. That didn't happen. Although Aura Singh at least got like a kind of conclusion in Republic Comics that immediately gets ruined by the fact that she shows up in Coruscant Nights.
And also doesn't really she just kind of goes off in that as well.
And isn't she in Legacy of the Force? I kind of recall.
I vaguely remember her showing up, I think, in one of the Karen Travis ones.
And all I could think of is she should be in a spacewalker or like a space wheelchair. I'm about to go on a Troy Denning verse rant right now. We don't need the prequel era characters in the post Jedi era, especially after NJO. We don't need them. We don't need Jusik from Republic Commando still running around in the Karen Travis books. No offense, John. I know you're a fan of the Commando books, but him in Legacy of the Force is utterly pointless. He's older than the hills. If you're gonna have him in a Mandalorian space retirement home.
But to be fair, technically they should be able to live longer because they have better technology. So, like, their 80s would probably be like our early 60s or late 50s. So
They shouldn't
it
be
is
making-
justified. And technically, Aura Singh is supposed to be like half vampire or something. So it kind of justifies her still being alive and able to move.
I don't know. I just remember we did a live stream. Well, I did a live stream. I don't think the rest of you were on that, where it was Matt Wilkins and I and a couple other people. We talked about the Sword of the Jedi fanfic by Hand of Thrawn 35, and the Commando guys and Boba Fett steal. Oh God, what is that Superstar Destroyer? It's the Chimera. They steal the Chimera from a museum in that for Dala. They steal it, and I'm like, these guys are old, and like Boba Fett especially shouldn't be running around so much because he got the Sarlacc poisoning, and we know that like permanently damaged him from the Bantam story, Last One Standing. We know he's not well, and that was almost 20 years before this.
I thought he was like dying in Legacy of the Force. I thought he had like
Yeah,
cancer or something like that.
His whole
Yeah, he had,
subplot in Legacy of the Force, his whole like driving motivation was like, how do I get something that doesn't make me age as bad? And that's why he runs into the Republic Commando, the Knolls, because apparently they had found like the secret to like de-aging, and but they never find it. It's Jang just, I think he runs into Jang is the one he runs into, and is like, oh yeah, we figured it out, but we're not going to tell you it's lost or something like that, like some weird thing like that.
How convenient.
Because she hadn't figured out how she was going to do it, is what that was. And then she got mad at Filoni and quit writing Star Wars books, which I don't blame her. Although No Prisoners is a great book. That's a real solid book. I highly recommend that. That's my favorite Travis book, I think.
More than Hard Contacts.
I think more so simply because it fixes some Bantam stuff. It's the only time I thought Ahsoka was decent in a book. She's nowhere near as annoying, and when she's annoying, she's put in her place. Pellion's great. Pellion's still in character. I like Callista. It's probably my favorite of Callista. The only stuff I don't care for is Anakin Padme talk, because he's like, well, Kianda Moody has a bunch of wives, and it's very clear that Karen Travis read that on Wikipedia and didn't read Prelude to Rebellion.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't explain it properly. That's the only problem I have with the book, and it's very minor.
I want to say it's Cal mentions that at some point as like the hypocrisy of the Jedi, when like, again, Prelude to Rebellion exists. Kiadi Mundi is like the exception to prove the rule of why they don't have like, yeah, his species just has a really low male birth rate, so every male needs to have take on multiple wives to like continue the species. That's why he has the exception. That's why the exception exists. It's not hard to understand.
And like, you could interpret it as Anakin's being manipulative, because it is not out of character for Anakin to be that way. I don't know. I like Altus's Jedi. That's probably the most I like them is in that. I like the tactics. I like that Rex is a full-blown like character, and he's the main character. I wish we would have gotten more books with Rex. Captain Rex is the main character. It's the best I think his character ever got, even if we're including TCW's Amara arc, which I don't think is nearly as good as people like to say it is. It's good for TCW.
I think it's I think it's a worse version of Jabim, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a worse version of Jabim with none of the consequences. because there are no consequences with it except for we kill off some of the 501st quotes.
I just love that there's an author out there that picks up like Children of the Jedi and Planet of Twilight. And it's like, I'm going to make this work in the continuity. I'm going to fix this.
Yeah, that's like one of the big things I like. I like Hard Contact. That's the other Travis book I like. I like elements of 000. I like the premise of 000. I don't care for certain things it drags, and I don't like Attain. I just don't like her, and I don't like Clones of Jedi hooking up. It just doesn't work for me, especially when she says, "I feel a child in the Force" in Hard Contact, and then like, oh, in 000, yeah, we're going to have a child together.
So I
Doesn't tell him
interpreted
about
that
it
as
either.
John, go on.
I was gonna say, like, I interpret that as like his soul is young, but like his mind is not. So it's like his body is technically 10 years old chronologically. So maybe his like spirit is younger than someone else's, but like his actual maturity level is much higher. So that's how I always interpreted that.
Yeah,
It's like a very anime thing.
I think Karen is very bad at the interpersonal romance things. I think the only clone couple that I like completely bought would actually end up together was Bethany and Ordo. It's the one that has the most development, and she actually wrote characters that in a way that's like, yeah, I can see why these two ended up together. None of the other ones did it for me. I'm like, why? You're just pairing them off at this point.
Trying to collect those Republic Commando books in like the omnibus form has been a pain in the butt. Like, because I want to collect them, and like I don't think all of them got hardcover prints. So
No, 501st didn't.
Bummer.
The hardcovers also aren't going to have the short stories, odds, and I forget the other one.
They do.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
I thought the hardcovers came out first, so they wouldn't have them.
No, they're 2-in-1s. They're book club exclusives.
Are the hardcovers? Are the audiobooks? Are they at least in the right order? Because like
no, they're not. They're not in the right order. They throw the short stories at the end.
Okay, yeah, they throw the short stories at the end because that's what the paperbacks do. The short story and the paperbacks are at the end of the book when like they take place before the book that they're included in.
Yeah, that was confusing.
It's the opposite of what they did with Recovery, where they just stuck it in front of Star by Star because that book wasn't long enough already.
I almost got the Bounty Hunter Wars. I was wanting to get it signed because at the con me and geek site I went to, Timura Morrison was there, Django Fett was there, and so I was like, man, that would have been really cool for. But he was like charging like over $100 for like an autograph, and I was like,
Yeah.
and the line was like massively long. So
he came out recently and said that like they don't want him in Star Wars anymore, or they don't want Boba Fett in Star Wars anymore, or something like that. I was like, yeah,
well, he didn't want to
bungled the character so badly.
He didn't want to deal with them after Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
For some reason, I heard that they're doing a second season of that or something, but it could have been just been like fake clickbait stuff.
Who knows at this point? Who knows what they'll keep and what they won't keep? I know we'll get Ahsoka season 2 because it's Dave Filoni, but that's it. That's the only thing that's for sure.
Yeah, from what I understand, the post Rise of Skywalker Disney era was just they would announce a whole bunch of things during like shareholder meetings when like at certain points to like kind of prop up the stock, and then like half of those stuff wouldn't even come out. It was just like to keep the stock, keep the shareholders happy, and so they didn't all panic sell.
To keep her job, she should have been fired, which leads me to believe she had dirt on people.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're okay. We'll finish. Adam, we'll finish your thought, and then we'll call it.
Well, from what I've read and seen, like again, I don't know how like legitimate it is. It could just be like people just speculating, but I've heard that like Disney is like kind of moving away from the prequel trilogy because, like, especially at their parks, like they don't, from what I've heard, they don't show their characters anymore, like Rey or Poe.
Yeah,
They
it's
show like
original
Luke.
now. Yeah.
Like it's like they're just making it now like, okay, this is just, just regular Star Wars park, and just like Han, Luke, Leia are here and everything. So, and but that's what I heard anyway. So
Can't wait to get annotated versions of like Razor's Edge and Honor Among Thieves.
I can't wait to get annotated versions of Ruins of Dantooine. That's
It's coming.
I'll annotate them. That
Inspired by the unifying force, Ruins of Dantooine.
and I'll annotate Rebel Force, the YA series by Alex Wheeler. That's what we really need.
yeah, a bunch of legends of the Crystal Star or something.
Yeah. Do a commentary track on Crystal Star.
Read by the Geeks Addict.
Yeah, his favorite book. He decided he didn't want to show up today. He decided he had a family or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's all I have for Legends Podcast. Thank you all for sticking around this long. Sorry it came out an hour early. Matthew is talking trash on our Facebook chat with Adam. He's just sending shorts, Facebook shorts.
Oh.
Which we will not watch on sheer principle, right, Adam? We only send Instagram reels in this chat. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Go read some Legends stuff. Don't read Disney stuff. It's not worth your time. It's not worth having a stroke over. So anyway, y'all have a good one. Stay Gucci, everyone.